If you're new here, welcome. I'm Akima, and I talk a lot about meal prep because I have lost over 90 pounds using meal prep and strength training as a tool to help me stay consistent and build discipline one day at a time. But if you've been here for a while, you already know my story. I used to spend over $600 a month on groceries, and I dropped my budget down to about $150 to $200 a month by getting serious about meal prepping and having a real system that fits my life. Now, one of the biggest things that has helped me stay consistent with meal planning, and you're not going to want to hear it, which may come to you as a surprise, is Notion. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is my meal prep reset hub. And I want to say huge thanks to anyone that has picked up my template in the last series I had. I truly love to see everyone taking small steps to becoming the best version of themselves, starting with meal prep. But I want to point out, if you downloaded a tool like this, you're not just interested in a physical change. You're already taking action, and that's exactly the kind of woman that I like to create content for. The number one message I kept getting after that series was, okay, I got the template, but how do I actually use the template for my life? So in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through the template step by step, really showing you how to use it in your own life. But I want you to understand it's not just about how you organize your meals, because the way that you manage your food is usually a reflection of how you're managing everything in your life. Your time, your energy, your priorities. This tool is really the first step to bringing clarity to all of that. First things first, if you do not already have the template, check the link in the description below. When you click the link, it's going to ask for your first name, your last name, and email address. Once you enter that and click send me the guide, you'll see a page that says get the meal prep master plan. From there, you'll see a page that says this is the official guide for my 4-part YouTube series to build your meal prep system step by step. Click below to grab your copy and start building your meal prep system today. Go ahead and click I need it, and that will open the template in Notion. Once you're inside Notion, all you need to do is click duplicate in the top right corner, and boom, now you have your own copy of the Meal Prep Reset Hub. I want you to think of this less like a planner and more like a command center for your life. When your food is organized, your decisions are clearer, and when your decisions are more clear, it's easier to show up everywhere else. Now let's go over the homepage, because this is where everything is going to connect for you. The first section is planning and scheduling. So this includes your monthly meal planner and your weekly meal lineup. This is where you zoom out and decide what you're eating and when. So instead of just reacting the day of, you're actually going to plan intentionally and have some ideas. Next is the inventory and shopping section. So this is where you're going to have your grocery trips and your kitchen audit. This is how you stop overbuying and wasting money, because you're finally aware of what you already have. Then we have the budget and tracking section. This is where you have your meal budget for the month, and this is where you track your grocery spending, so meal prep actually supports your finances. I don't want you to confuse this section with scarcity. We're not here to be like, we have to stick to this $50 budget. No, we want to be aware of what we're spending our money on and what we're wasting our money on. This is why we have the kitchen audit. And honestly, being aware is the first step of being disciplined. So you gotta start somewhere. Finally, we have the resources, and the resources is where you're gonna have your recipe bank. This is where all your go-to meals live, so you're not just starting from scratch every week, but you also have a space to create and save recipes. You really want to start with the kitchen audit so you know what you already have. Now, this section is super important because this is what stops you from overbuying and wasting money. The audit honestly shouldn't take you more than 10 to 15 minutes. You're just checking 3 places: your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer. Pantry staples are things that are always on deck, so you're never starting just from zero. So for me, things I usually have on deck are tuna, avocado oil, peanut butter sometimes for Dominic. I use Kinder seasoning, so I always have my bulk seasonings under my cabinet. Just some of my go-to basics just to make prepping a little easier for me. Then from there, you'll go into the recipe bank and choose your meals for the week. And I don't want you to get stuck here or overthink it. This is something you should really do once a week, not every single day. After that, you're going to create your grocery list based on what you don't have. I like to keep this super simple and build your list around 3 proteins, 2 main carbs, and about 2 to 3 main veggies. That structure alone keeps things balanced without making it complicated. Then you'll track your spending in the meal budget, basically how much you're investing into your food for the week. And over time, this whole process gets a little easier, and naturally, you'll start planning further ahead without forcing it, because discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about reducing friction so things feel easier day by day. That is exactly how I use the meal prep template. My Notion is definitely different than this template because I use Notion for every single part of my life. This isn't really about being perfect or trying to have a perfectly clean grocery list. It's about having everything in one spot where your meals are, where your groceries are, where your budget is, and where all your decisions live, so you stop operating in survival mode. This Notion template is really the first step to building consistency one small habit at a time. So if you haven't downloaded the template yet, go ahead and see the description so you can click the link, download the template, and in the next video, we're actually going to go a little bit deeper into this psychology. We need to talk about nutrition and why a lot of healthy habits are keeping you guys stuck in this cycle of losing the same 5 to 10 pounds every single month. So if you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but you're still not seeing the progress that you want to make sure you're subscribed and don't miss part 2 of this series because we're going to unpack literally everything together. I'll see y'all in the next one.